Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining this fabulous webinar. It's going to be a very informative webinar talking about our trip to India, which we have scheduled for 2020. Specific dates are June 18th through July 6th. And welcome, my name is Paul Aryeh, and I'm going to be the moderator for this webinar. So I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit and give you a little bit of background about why we're doing this power journey and what's the logistics, and a little bit of background about me. So I actually lived in India for 14 years from 1998 till 2012, and it is during this time that I spent with a great saint, Sri Kaleshwar, and lived at his ashram in southern India. And it was during this period of time where I did intense sadhana, meditation, spiritual practices, traveled throughout India, got to know the land, got to know the people, and really discovered an amazing wealth of spirituality that exists in that country. It's quite extraordinary. So then in 2012, my master, he passed away. And so I came back to the United States in 2012 and built a spiritual center, a retreat and temple located in Los Angeles. And over the past 8 years, I have been taking people to India on these spiritual journeys. And what I have noticed every time that I take people, no matter where anyone may be, transformation happens. And it's a really very profound experience. So today we're going to talk about why India? What's so unique about India? Why do you take people to that location? It's a 21 to 24 hour plane flight, and then it's literally on the other side of the globe. So we're talking a little bit about why India, where we're going to go, what are the things we're going to experience, where are the places of interest, and what to prepare for this trip. Because really, the way these power journeys are designed is that my role is to prepare, educate, and involve everyone in this journey, because it is more than just traveling to a distant land with a lot of exotic temples and places to go to. It's literally a spiritual journey that begins the minute that you sign up for the course. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about India and why India. And the amazing thing is that India is a developing country, and it is a place where spirituality, culture, and the tech business world merge together. And it's just been in the last 10, 15 years that India has exploded on the map as a hub of international high tech. A lot of companies in the United States, they outsource with India, and the development in India has completely expanded. So you've got the urban areas of India, but then you have the rich cultural heritage of India and spirituality all mixed in one. And so India is a place where great rishis, saints, yogis, gurus have been practicing the art of meditation for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And the reason why they do it in India is because the vibrations of the land. It is the birthplace of Mother Divine, and all the epic mystical traditions of India have been around for thousands of years. It is the place where literally it is considered a vortex or a portal to a higher level of consciousness on the planet. They have been meditating and worshiping the gods and goddesses of Mother Divine, Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu, divine souls, rishis, saints. They have been practicing spirituality for thousands of years. And it's because the unique vibrations of that land, which translates and makes the inner process of meditation so easy. Literally, most of the temples we'll be going and visiting have been around for at least 5,000 years. And we'll be visiting not only just temples, but we'll be visiting holy sites of where saints previously have been buried. And so along with their spiritual awareness, the vibrations fill these locations and these temples. So really, this journey is about awakening and accelerating our spiritual practice. Now, you could do your spiritual practice at home, but the vibrational frequency that is inherent in this land, you won't find anywhere else. So this is a place where there's immense nature. There are mountains. There are temples which house deities that were built by great rulers of India that were actually saints disguised as kings. So the object of these tours is really simple. It is to immerse yourself into a practice of meditation, spirituality, and getting in touch with the source within you through these locations and through these places. And the reason why is because in our home countries, whether it be in Europe or the US, let's face it, the vibrations are very dense, they're electrified, and they're really designed mostly about work, money, family, and the interactions with people on a day-to-day basis. It's really rare that you can take 2 weeks out and to focus only on yourself. So let's talk a little bit about the journey. We're going to be starting on the 18th of June, which we'll be meeting in the city of Bangalore, which is southern India, which is in the state of Karnataka. And the reason why we go there is because A, there are a lot of temples that are in and around Bangalore. And then B, it is a central hub for travel by plane, by car, to many of the destinations that we'll be going to. So I would recommend that you find an airline that has one stop that goes from either, for us, it's US to Europe, usually France, Germany, or Italy, or go through Asia, which is like Shanghai, or China, or Singapore. And the reason why I say it, because it's usually, from the US, it's a 12-hour journey, then another 8 or 9 hour journey with an hour and a half layover in a place like Singapore, Thailand, or Hong Kong. So I would recommend that everybody come a couple of days early just to A, rest, B, get yourself acclimated to the environment, to get yourself acclimated to the food, to get yourself acclimated to the culture. Then what we plan to do is on the 18th take a short 1.5 hour plane flight to a city where the great saint Shirdi Sai Baba was entombed. And the reason why we go there, because not only is it a place of pilgrimage, but literally this saint who is very active throughout India. Many miracles have happened and many people have had amazing healing experiences going to a place like this. And in India, the burial place or the samadhi of saints is considered revered holy land. Because although the body of a saint is entombed and put in the ground, it's the spiritual vibrations which are powerfully emanating in that place. So our first stop is going to be in this town called Shirdi. And we'll be spending approximately 3 days there. And we'll be spending time going to specific places, temples, and historical sites which are in the area. Specifically, there's one place which is going to be is considered one of the most holiest historical sites in India is the Ellora Caves. And the Ellora Caves are this amazing location only 3 hours outside of Shirdi, whereby thousands of years ago, a race of people carved into the side of a mountain a huge temple structure. And if you check it out on the internet, the Ellora Caves is a miraculous site because there are no moving parts, and they designed, carved out, and created this immense temple by taking out the side of a mountain. Now, in my book, that is supernatural. And the people that created this were probably supernatural beings from a different galaxy that came to this earth and decided to create a power spot. And we'll use this word power spot because it's a place which is a spot which contains not only the vibrational frequency that are extremely high, but act as a vortex or a portal to a cosmic place in space and time that would be very difficult to access if you were sitting in Los Angeles in your apartment in the middle of a bustling urban area. This is located in huge nature reserve, and it takes a whole day of going through the various temples that have been carved out throughout the mountain. So it's an amazing first journey, and we designed it specifically so that you can take and use those 3-4 days to really get yourself in tune to the vibrations, because it's like jumping into a waterfall. You don't have to do anything in order to get wet. Similarly, when you visit these places, the vibrations of the place naturally allow you to go into a theta wave state of meditation. And it allows you to begin to focus within and start connecting with your soul on a deep, deep level. And then once you start opening yourself up, what happens is the cosmic vibrations of all the places that we will be going to are going to feed your soul. They're going to grow your soul. They're going to purify all the layers out of your vibrational field, so to speak. So you'll go through this intense purification and upliftment through this journey. And that's really what these journeys are designed to do. Through the 14 years of living in India, I learned where to go, how to maneuver, and learned through the my personal experiences of having lived in India, how to go to the right places with the right intention at the right time cycles in order to maximize the absorption of these holy, mystical experiences and vibrations that we'll be visiting. From there, we will be departing and going back to southern India, where we will be visiting the second location, which is the Tirupati Temple located in Andhra Pradesh. And this temple sits upon a mountain which is covered by 7 separate mountains around it. And this specific temple is the second most visited temple in the world. The first being the Vatican, located in Italy. Tirupati is visited every month by at least 1 million devotees from throughout India and around the world. It is one of the most unique and powerful places on the planet. Now, what makes it so powerful? If you actually take a look at the temple itself, it's really not that big. But they built a whole city around this temple. And in the main temple exists the reincarnation of one of the trinities, Vishnu, which in this yuga, which is called Kali Yuga, which is a time cycle, the Trinity means Brahma, the creator, Shiva, the destroyer, and Vishnu, the sustainer. And the mystical tradition of this temple is that about 1,000 years ago, the reincarnation of Vishnu had taken form as Balaji. And at the end of his cycle, he knew that he was entering a chapter whereby his presence as a god vibrationally would be needed for the planet. So literally, he took the incarnation in order to transform himself into a stone statue. And that stone statue exists in this temple. And it was discovered several hundred years ago by the great king Krishnadeva. And it was he who developed and created the architectural structure which houses it right now. It is, I can't really go into more detail. It's something that on the journey we'll discuss, and we'll discuss the significance of it as a vibrational field to help us on the spiritual and material plane, to help us in so many different aspects. Because spirituality is Shakti. Shakti is divine energy. And part of the spiritual path is to be able to learn how to operate in the creation so that you can thrive and be prosperous while being spiritually masterful in the world. A lot of people think that spirituality means that you have to be poor. This is not true. In fact, a lot of great kings who were spiritually adept and were great rulers for their time were actually cloaked as yogis and great saints. So we're going to be going to this particular temple, and as well as a couple other temples within that area. And we will be there for approximately 3 days. Now, during this trip, we're going to be taking a couple of plane flights, but we'll also be driving a lot, and we'll be stopping, and we'll be enjoying and absorbing the nature, the food, the culture, the people. It's not all about spirituality where you're spending 8 hours a day meditating, 2 hours eating, and 6 hours sleeping. No, really, the spiritual journey is supposed to be enjoyable at the same time. And we designed it in such a way so that you can maximize each of the places that you go to. You can have your spiritual meditation, but also you can relax and enjoy the journey with other people. In fact, on the journey coming up in June, July, Spiro's going to be coming for the first time to India, not to India, but on this spiritual journey with us. And so, a lot of people come from different traditions and different paths. It doesn't matter. The main thing is that you focus on your spiritual growth and personal development. Okay, so from the second place, we're gonna drive back, and then we're going to be going to another temple, which is designed towards Shiva. Now, I want to explain something. Now, you may ask the question, well, why are you doing these spiritual journeys during June to July? On the spiritual path, it's really important that you maximize the time cycle of the calendar year. There are basically 2 or 3 main hot points in the spiritual cycle, which really maximizes the effect of the moon cycles and the calendar cycles. So between June and July, we're using the auspicious timing of the spiritual practice of Guru Purnima. And Guru Purnima happens every full moon in the month of June or July, depending on which year you're talking. And this year, Guru Purnima, which is the celebration honoring the Guru, or the spiritual teacher, or your tradition, whatever that may be. It may be Shirdi Sai Baba, it may be Shukalshwar, it may be Buddha, it may be Jesus Christ, it may be any saint that you follow or a teacher that you have. It's about opening up and strengthening and making yourself access to the source of the cosmic knowledge, which is embodied in the form of a physical or non-physical guru. So really it's about opening ourselves up to the main source of knowledge and cosmic energy descending on the planet. So we use this period to help build up the energy so that when we get to the day of Guru Purnima Day, which this year happens on the 5th of July, your journey culminates with the highest, fullest moon of the year. And it's really about empowerment. It's about connecting your soul with a higher vibrational frequency so that you can elevate your consciousness, your practices, and your soul so that you can become more masterful in your life. You can become happier in your life. You can become more prosperous in your life. You can have a greater sense of purpose and dharma and intention with whatever it is that you seek as a goal for your personal path. Okay, so that's the second place. Then from the third place, we will probably be going to the deep forest of southern India, to a place called Srisailam. And in Srisailam, there is it's like all the other places, which is a temple town. They basically had this holy object come out of the ground, which is called a Shiva Lingam, which radiates huge Shiva vibrations. And at this Shiva temple, there's also a Mother Divine temple. And whenever you have a Mother Divine temple and a Shiva temple on the same property, it means that you're engaging in the dynamic vibrational exchange between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And why is that important? Because really that is the foundation of creation. See, we're going to be talking on this tour and in these processes the importance of how to develop the qualities of both the masculine and feminine within you so that you can access, utilize, and implement both in the creation. Because in the world, you can't do one without the other. You can't have only the masculine and not have the feminine. You can't have just the feminine and not the masculine. They are qualities of creation that deal with mastery. And that's what Tantra is all about. It's about discovery and empowering within you those two qualities. So when we go to these places, it is about feeding your soul at a deep, subtle, vibrational level, that which you need, and at the same time, getting rid of that which you don't need. You don't have to worry about it. You just have to have awareness, because these power spots are designed specifically to help you and to heal you and to feed you the vibrations you need on your spiritual path. From there, we will move to the final chapter of the journey, which is designed specifically for the spiritual practices geared around Guru Purnima celebration. We will be going straight to the ashram of Sri Kaleshwar, and we'll talk a little bit more about him at a future point in time. By the way, we will have a series of 3 to 4 classes prior to ever even taking a flight out, so that you can be prepared and know what it is that you need in order for you to have a successful trip. We don't just throw you in, but we educate, we talk about, we give processes, we do practices of meditation, so that when you come to India, we all know each other. We all have talked on a webinar together, and we all get to know each other and the process that is going to unfold during the 2.5 weeks that we're going to be spending together. Now, Guru Purnima, during the 3-4 days that we're going to be in Penakonda, which is in southern Andhra Pradesh, we will be involved with meditation practices, fire pujas, and processes designed to help prepare you for Guru Purnima Day. We'll be doing abhisheks, and we'll be doing a lot of sightseeing in Penakonda. Penakonda is another one of those vortexes on the planet that you can spend a lifetime just exploring. We'll be going to caves. We'll be going to the top of mountains. We'll be going to temples that are over 1,500 years old. We'll be visiting places which are powerful spots. In fact, it is one of the spots that Sri Kaleshwar mentioned that Jesus spent time meditating there. For a lot of people that don't know, Jesus actually, even though he was the person responsible for today's Christianity, he explored and spent many, many years developing his channels by visiting India. And what that means is that he actually had his first darshan of Mother Divine in India. He was able to access the angels in India. He was able to connect to saints, rishis, and siddhas when in India. And he took that knowledge and he was able to awaken in him through process, through meditation. But because he visited India, because he knew the power that was here was so unique on the planet, that this was the place where he could receive enlightenment as well as his miracle abilities and become the avatar that he evolved to. So you could see the importance of India in spirituality to help everybody to develop, connect, and to purify ourselves in a way to elevate us naturally. That's the power of India. So we'll end the course over this 2.5 weeks with the celebration of Guru Purnima. And my experience is this trip will transform you. And we know, because we know that, we understand how difficult it could be to return back to our hometowns. Because when you become a magnet for this amazing love and in this amazing spiritual vibrations, when you come back into a world of chaos and a world of constant going back and forth, what's important is that we help you to integrate and to create a sacred space within your own home so that you don't lose that energy, so that you're able to hold on to it and continue a meditation practice that helps you maintain and to cultivate while you're in your day-to-day routine when you return back to your home countries. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of a picture as far as what the journey is kind of looking like. So I'm going to open it up for any questions that you might have, whether it be practical questions, spiritual questions, logistical questions, doesn't matter. So just raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask any question. You guys are all ready to buy your plane tickets now and jump on the journey? Spiro.
Let's speak about the heat and the weather there in this time in India. So perhaps others, I'm aware of that, but perhaps others can be aware also about that.
Yeah. So the temperature there is going to be a little bit warmer during this period of time. Anywhere from 80 degrees Fahrenheit up to 90, 95, like that. So it's really important to wear comfortable clothes, but also clothing which is, respectful of your environment. You don't go to temples and cut off jeans and a tank top. You can actually purchase a lot of the things that you'll need when you're in Bangalore, and when you're in India, it's relatively inexpensive compared to the West. You can get a lot of really great pants and shirts. Women, it's encouraged to wear what's called Punjabis, which are like long shirts with a scarf and some loose-fitting pants. That allows you to meditate easily, and it also allows you to be sensitive to the culture and the customs of India. And I'm there to help people. I'll be there a week early, so if you need to have shopping done, we can do that. We can help you with it. We can help you with money changing in Bangalore. I know the best rates and the best places that are safe. Going on these journeys, realistically, you can go and do this journey and do it for next to nothing. But the issue is going to the right places, knowing how to maneuver within the cities, dealing with transportation, being in hotels which are proven and safe, knowing where to eat, and what not to eat is really important. What's also important is to know what the do's and don'ts are on a journey like this. So 2.5 weeks may sound like a big, like a large amount of time, but if you were to do this by yourself, it would take you at least 5-6 weeks in order to complete this journey efficiently. And we've gotten to the point where we know that this journey, how to do it, and all the drivers that we work with, I've known for years. All the airlines that I've taken are are reliable. All the hotels that I go to, they know me. And the rates that we get are very competitive. So we really provide all the accommodations, food, travel by car, travel by plane, course fees, and all the necessary components that go into making a successful journey. And really, it's also what to look out for, you know? It's knowing when to rest. It's knowing when to have downtime. It's knowing how to get into the temples. It's knowing, you know, where to go, where not to go. And I've been doing this for so many years. I know exactly how to pace ourselves, know how to push, how to pull back, when to eat, when not to eat, when to rest, when not to rest, and when's the best timings for things to happen. So that's the role that I provide as a tour guide, I guess, spiritual tour guide, like that. Did you have any other questions, Spiro?
I am looking forward, Mr. Paul. Really looking forward.
Yeah, it's going to be a really great trip. Zahir, do you have any questions? And I know we have another person on the call with the phone number ending in 4888. Wow, that's an auspicious number. That's great.
No, Paul, no questions. Well, I have one question.
Go ahead.
But that's about the
no questions.
Go ahead, Zahir.
The process that you're starting, is that today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. All right. That's my only question. Thank you.
Yeah. Today we're talking about the power journey. Tomorrow we're talking about the meditation process for Shivaratri, and it's about connecting to a divine soul. But that's on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead. Tamara, you had a question?
Oh, no, I don't have a question. But thank you.
Okay, great. All right. So this process, this trip is really about just transformation. I mean, it's about tapping into the spiritual energy of India and grabbing onto it, and really transformation of your personal life. I mean, it's designed to just awaken your spiritual practice. And that's why I say before the tour, during the tour, and after the tour, we're there for you guys to help in every which way. So if you have any questions, you can email us. You can email me directly. I will, this will be posted. You can send me an email, paul@paularyeh.com. That's ARYEH. And you can send me a message, or you can go to my website, paularyeh.com, and you can send me an email via the website. It's paul, PAUL.ARYEH. I thank you guys a whole bunch, and I look forward to meeting you in person, on Zoom, and in India. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you soon. God bless.